This is All About Wine, the talk show dedicated to the wine industry since 2009, featuring winemaker, cellar master, vineyardist, and tasting expert, Ron.
Basically, what we're trying to do on this program is just trying to educate people and trying to make wine less confusing and more friendly.
From coast to coast and around the world.
You know, we really have had some neat people on the program. I love that.
Post your questions and comments during the live show on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/allaboutwinebtr. Again, that's www.facebook.com/allaboutwinebtr. And now, All About Wine is on. Here's Ron.
I still have Blog Talk Radio on there. Okay. Oh, that was quick. Man, I changed
That was quick. Whoa!
Wow. Okay.
We need to. We also need to look at. I was thinking about when they were doing the opening there too. Oh, live! If people want to listen to us, they can they? Or can they?
On YouTube and on Facebook right now. I'm going to check and see. I think there is a thing to put I don't remember if this was the one with the player that can be put on the website. There's a way to do that. If this one has it, I'll have to check into it. But yeah, right now it's just on social media live on YouTube and Facebook. So
okay,
I'll get that.
It's not here.
Figured out.
If someone wants to chat with us, they're going to have to go through Facebook or YouTube. Well, Facebook, YouTube does that have interaction?
Yeah. You post in the comment section, and it'll come in here. I tested that one, and I tested it on Facebook. I think you can go to Restream, restream.io, and I'm not sure what our link is there, but it's live on there, obviously, because that's where the player is. But God, what was the other one? Mixcloud was another possibility. Yeah. We had Mixcloud. You can we can always do that and stream there live as well, and then it stores the shows. So I have to look back into that, because we were doing that for a little bit as well while we were on Blog Talk Radio. But I'll find out. Go back to it. See what that one is.
Yeah. Well, again, you're the engineer. Figure out something. And,
no. I thought Kathy was the engineer.
You think I'm the best.
I'm the producer. Kathy's the engineer.
You're the producer. Yeah, I have to give her a little button gear, I guess.
Kathy is the producer or the engineer. She brings you the wine, and she's the engineer. So,
she's been slacking, man.
What?
Yeah. That's right. She's been slacking off here. Oh, get her on the wall. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's still actually it's taking a little bit long time, work in progress. Blog Talk Radio went off the January, so once and once a week, so it's not like we're on 4 days a week or 5 days a week, and we're waiting. So it's only 9-10 episodes that we've had since Blog Talk Radio left us. High and dry. Yeah. So
high and dry.
Yeah, so okay. Definitely. High and dry. Speaking of high and dry, little public service announcement. I was thumbing through Facebook earlier today, and I was seeing pictures of the floods in Tennessee and Kentucky and stuff. And they're starting to go down, but devastating floods in that area. And if you are so inclined, and I've mentioned this before, if you're so inclined to donate, then do so. But I suggest going through Red Cross as probably the safest way to donate anything. And they need everything down there, clothing or anything you've got. They can use anything. But donate through Red Cross, because those people really are. And I mean, it's not, the water's not down yet. It's still up around all sorts of houses and stuff. So anything can help. And our thoughts are out to those people. It's rough. I've helped clean up after floods before, and the thing that sticks with you more than anything is the smell. It's just a horrible smell that permeates the air after a flood. So if you are so inclined, then Red Cross would be probably the best way to get it. And then you can designate it for the flooded areas down there, because they use it everywhere. With fires and all sorts of stuff going on. So, okay. Well, no guests tonight because we're still figuring out what platform we're going to use and how guests can get a hold of us and stuff. And I was just looking at the list of people. I'm been in contact with some of them, telling them, hang in there, please wait. We're going to get you on the show as soon as we get ready. And so people are been patient and understanding. And so we're going to get guests, and they are going to come back on with us, and they are ready. And so we won't have to worry too much about that, but we need to get our end going so we can do that. So, excuse me. I played golf yesterday, and I was on the weather shouting and all that. I think part of my throat problem too is allergies. Not allergies so much as just the pollen in the air. It's just really, really horrible now. So hopefully that will clear up before long too. So let's start out with a little bit of glossary. And where is it? Not there. There it is. And talk about these terms. Let's see. We stopped at what, delicate? Was that the last one? No. We did degrees, days. We did decanting, I know. So, and I think we did degree days. Yeah, we did. So the next one we have for you is a French term for racking and returning a wine back to the tank. And what is this? Let me see the pronunciation. It's pronounced delestage. 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 Not deli stage, delestage. And again, back on, wine is pumped out of the fermenting tank and back over the cap to facilitate extraction of color and flavor. Delicate, next one, used to describe light to medium weight wines with good flavors. A desirable quality in such wines as Pinot Noir and Riesling. Demeter, I believe it's pronounced Demeter. It's a nonprofit organization that promotes and certifies biodynamic farming, which is really catching on in this country. If you're not familiar with biodynamic, then I've done shows on it in the past. You can go back and you can check a lot of the back episodes from our website. Everything's still on our website, so you can go back there, even though it is BTR. You can still go back and check all that. Next, Demi-mold, I believe. Let's see what the pronunciation. They have a little thing here. Let me know. And it's pronounced Demi-weed. Whoa, let's hear that again. What? Oh, come on, do it again. Demi-weed. Yeah, that doesn't sound anything like it's spelled. Demi-muid. Demi-weed. That's French term for a 600-liter capacity oak barrels. These are typically found in the Rhone Valley. Next one, demi-sec, designates a medium to sweet wine, though the term, which translates literally to a half dry, or demi-sec, sec meaning dry, is potentially confusing. Most often used for champagnes or other sparkling wines, the term also appears on semi-sweet wines from the Loire Valley and other French regions. Next one, demi-sec and champagne. This has a dosage level of 32 to 50 G per liter. I was going to look that up and I didn't. Of residual sugar. Demijohn, next one, is a carboy. It's just a smaller wine vessel used for home winemaking. Next one, Dominican de Origen, and this is one of Spain's regulatory classification systems used to determine the grape varieties, alcohol levels, and yields of wine of a wine region. In 1991, the higher regulatory level, Dominican de Origen Certificada, or DOCA, was established. Not just a DOCA, Certificada. I can't pronounce. Oh, they do have a pronunciation for me. Okay. This is pronounced well, let's do that again. Dominican Califitin Dominicada, which is slaughtered on it because I don't speak Spanish. It's one of Spain's regular classification systems. This is used to determine the grape varieties, alcohol levels, and yields of a wine region. Okay. Oh, that's the one right above it. The one below it, Dominican de Origen Calificada. This is one of Spain's regulatory classification systems created in the early 1990s and the highest given to a wine region. Rojo and Purot are the only two Spanish wine regions to have earned the DOCA. And the next one is, come on, pronounce it. Okay, this is Italian. Dominazione di Regione Controllata, or DOC. This is the Italian system for defining wine regions and wine names. In addition to the DOCG, Dominazione di Regione Controllata e Granita. This covers regions willing to submit their wines to tougher requirements, including tasting approval. And then I have to question, who tastes this to say, okay, you qualify? Is it one person? Is it a group of people? Who are the group of people? That's a little hard to qualify. And then again, Dominazione di Regione Controllata e Granita is the Italian system for defining wine regions and wine names. DOCG wines are submitted to tougher requirements than those labeled DOC, including tasting approval. Okay, moving on away from those terms I can't pronounce. Dense describes a wine that has concentrated aromas on the nose and palate, a good sign in young wines. Depth describes the complexity and concentration of flavors in a wine, as in wine with excellent or uncommon depth, opposite of shallow. This wine is shallow, and then depth is the opposite. Destemming, the process of removing the grape berries from the stems once the grapes have been harvested and brought into the winery. The goal is to minimize the amount of astringent tannins that stems can add to wine. And stems, too much stems in the can really make a wine astringent. I've ran across that problem. Desuckering, the removal of young, non-fruit bearing shoots from a vine. This is left up to the vineyard manager and his crew. They go and snip off all these young little shoots on there and help train the vines to stay on the trellises and stuff like that, so that the vines can get plenty of air. If you just let it go, then it grows like a plant. Really, it wants to grow. And if you get off those young little ones, then it gives it better air, better sunshine, all that. Next one is Tafelvine, I believe is pronounced. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, Deutscher Tafelwein. And that is a wine classification within Germany's lowest level of wines. Tafelwein indicates that the grapes were grown in Germany. Excuse me. So that's all it is. Deutscher, or Dutch or German, Tafelwein is just the lowest level. Devatting, also known as delistage. They had delistage up here, and that was a weird pronunciation. Let's see if I can find it again. It is delistage. I'm just telling you about that. Okay. Also known as delistage or devatting, the oxidative winemaking process in which, after the cap of grapes, must, skins, seeds, and stems forms on the top of a vat of fermenting wine, the wine is drained through a valve at the base of the tank into another vat and reserved while the remaining solids are allowed to drain for a few hours. The reserved wine is then pumped back into the original tank over the top of the drained skins, seeds, and stems. Like punch downs and pump overs, the purpose of devatting is to increase the extraction of color, flavor, tannins, and aromas from the solids, as well as aerate the fermenting wine. So you pull it, take it out, let it pull out the good wine from the bottom, let the solids settle, and then pump back over the top of it. Developing. This refers to a wine that is starting to show signs of age in flavor, aroma, or color. Not going bad yet, it's just to the point where it's developing into a good wine. Dirty. This refers to covers any and all foul, rank, off-putting smells that can occur in a wine, including those caused by bad barrels or corks, a sign of poor winemaking. So a dirty wine is just another term for bad wine, basically. Disgorgement. When making sparkling wine, this technique is used to remove frozen sediment remaining in the bottle after the second fermentation. Through the riddling process, The sediment settles in the bottle neck, and the neck is then dipped into a brine solution and frozen. Working quickly, the bottle is turned upright and the crown cap removed. The plug of frozen sediment is ejected by the pressure of the carbon dioxide, also known as degorgement. Degorgement. Okay, very simple process. Riddling, I don't know if you're familiar with that. Let's cover that quickly. When you do champagne and ferment the bottle, second fermentation is usually in the bottle, and you take all these champagne bottles, and it still has some a little bit of yeast in it, and it's still working on the fermentation, and you put them in a rack that it looks like let's see, it looks like a baseball rack or a a bat rack, where you have all these holes and they're at an angle and you just put your bats in it. Well, this is about the same. When you put the bottles in it, and the neck is down and the back of it's up, and when the riddling process is when the riddler is what he's actually called, go through and turns these bottles a quarter of a turn, and they're very fast. I don't know if there's a video. I'm sure there's a video on YouTube now, because there's a video of everything on YouTube. Go onto the video on YouTube, look up champagne riddling, and you'll probably see how they do it and what it is. It's just amazing how fast these guys are. They are professionals, and they know what they're doing, and it's just fascinating how fast they do it. But they turn the bottles a quarter of a turn. This helps keep the sediment going down into the neck. Then, when the sediment is all settled in the neck, is when they take it out. They freeze it on the neck, and then take the cork off and let it disgorge the sediments and all the bad stuff that has built up in the bottle while it's doing a second fermentation. Disgorgement. Pretty simple. Pretty simple name for it. Next one is disjointed. This describes wine with components that are not well knit or harmonious or balanced. The timing of the components may be off. Upon tasting, a disjointed wine might first reveal big fruit, followed by blasts of screeching acidity, and finishing off with a dose of tannins. That's disjointed, not a well put together wine. It's not knit together like it should be. That's disjointed. And let's see. This next one. Districts Australia and Controlatus. This is the Austrian system of appellations established in the early 2000s and modeled after France's appellations d'origine and contrôlée. To carry an appellation in this system, a wine must follow rules describing the area the grapes are grown in, the varieties used, the ripeness, the alcoholic strength, the vineyard yields, and the methods used in growing the grapes and making the wine. Oh my gosh. I mean, nothing like strict rules and regulations for that. So that's Districtus Australia Controlatus. You can see the little German creeping into that. And let's do one more here. Diurnal temperature shifts. This is the difference between daytime and nighttime temperatures, which can affect the speed of ripening and grape quality. Shifts can be considerable, parts of Napa Valley regularly experience a 40-degree difference between day and night temperatures. So, and we'll start next week with Dulce. Okay. Well, I'll tell you that right now. Dulce, that's an Italian term for sweet. D-O-L-C-E, Dulce. And then we'll start next week with Dulces. Let me put this so I can start right there at the top. All right. So there's our questions for this week. Let me jump here to a couple of articles that I share with you. And well, it's not there. Why is it? Here we go. Okay. This is out of the San Francisco Chronicle. Wineries are selling, but it's big wineries are selling some of their holdings. Let me go up here. The country's second largest wine company has announced plans to sell some of its wines to a smaller big wine company. The wine group, headquartered in Livermore, California, has agreed to purchase some of America's most popular brands, including Woodbridge, Simi, Meiomi, Cook's, J. Roget, and Robert Mondavi Private Selection, all from Constellation Brands. Okay, now Constellation Brands is, I think, the biggest one in the country. They were, I think Gallo's right behind it, but I think Constellation's number one. Well, they're getting rid of some big names there. And the transaction is no price has been disclosed, but it also includes associated inventory with all those, the wineries, the vineyards, offices, and facilities. And this all will need regulatory approval and not expected to close until the end of fiscal year 2026. So it's a while yet before that's going to happen. You won't see any difference, I would think. All these big conglomerates own so many of these smaller, and we say smaller compared to them, but smaller wineries, and there's not going to be much of a difference. It's just under a different corporate head. The additions will increase Wine Group's annual production as a major company, which is currently at 40 million cases, and it will jump it up substantially. Constellation Brands, which is located in upstate New York, produces about 14 million cases, making it the nation's fifth largest wine company. No, I thought they were bigger than that. Than the fifth. There's Bronco is big. Bronco is another one. But no comments from either one of them, although they've been asked. They're talking again about the wine industry being in trouble. But again, who knows? The suspected divestment activity had become the talk of the wine industry in recent months as rumors swirled that the company would be selling off its entire wine division. This has not come to pass. It still retains over a dozen of its higher-end wineries, including Robert Mondavi, which is a separate company as opposed to Robert Mondavi Private Selection, which is the one that they're selling. Sea Smoke, The Prisoner, Schrader and Domain, Schrader and Domain Curry. So these are all ones that Constellation owns. Constellation owns a lot of them. A lot of names that you know. I didn't think they were fifth though. That really surprises me. But let's see. I saw something else in this article that I wanted to bring up to you. Treasury Wines, another major wine corporation, announced plans to offload its cheaper wine brands last year, and but they couldn't find a buyer, so they had pulled back on that. And Constellation Brands also owns whiskeys and beers and all sorts of stuff, so it's not just wine. So if they sell all their wines, they're still going to be in the alcohol business. Let's see. The sale also follows Tuesday's announcement that Constellation would curb its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Let's see. Yeah, it's Constellation for engage with, and that's that. No, nothing important there. Wine Group has recently made some divestments. In October, after 20 years of ownership, it sold Concannon Vineyard, a historic Livermore property founded in 1883, to two local winemaking families. Well, that's cool. I'm very familiar with Concannon. I used to go to them years and years ago. And nice winery. I love their Rieslings and their unoaked Chardonnays at the time. They were fantastic. So it's being sold back to the families there. Oh, that's good to know. So, change the guards in some of the wineries around the country, rather. But I saw this. This is Wine Folly. On one, Wine Folly is always good. I'm gonna have to get Madeline Puckett is the wine person at Wine Folly. She's the one that always writes articles about wine, along with others. I mean, she's not the only one, but she is the face of Wine Folly, and she conducts most of the stuff herself and all that. So, but I'd like to get her on the show once we get ourselves settled in, and I'll see if we can't get her on the show sometime. I'm sure she will be more than willing to do so. But this article out of the Wine Folly is 12 classic wine and cheese pairings you must try. And I'm going to read you this article, and you can chuckle at me at the pronunciation of some of these cheeses, because I am not a cheese person overall, and some of these names I don't know. Mike, if you're a cheese person or you know how to pronounce some of these, jump in there. But I have some of these.
Yeah, we'll try.
Okay, thank you. Wait a minute. Engineer brought me in some wine, so it is Campo Viejo. C-A-M Campo Viejo, C-A-M-P-O-V-I-E-J-O, Campo Viejo, and it's a Rojo Tempranillo, Spanish, 2021, and it says on the back of the bottle, not much, I guarantee you. Campo Viejo, Rioja. This says the full classification. Dominican de Origen Calificada. Pronounce that wrong. Intensity, 4 out of 5. Complexity, 2 out of 5. Fruitiness, 3 out of 5. It says 61 degrees. It's just about right, too. I can feel it. 13.5% alcohol by volume. Bottled by Vegas Campo in Logran, Spain. Red wine product of Spain. imported by Pernod Ricard. Pernod Ricard imports a lot of stuff. Okay, contains sulfates, and that's it. Not much on here. 2021. I don't know if I said, but 2021 Tempranillo. So let me give this swirl and a sip here. Nice color, nice garnet color on this. That's always nice aroma too. It's sort of a mustiness to it, but not really. Reminds me of a dirt road, and that's not a bad explanation. So don't think, ooh, dirt road. It reminds me of a little dust coming up off of dirt road. I'm not getting any fruitiness. I'm not getting anything but just subdued flavors. What they say about this stuff? Intense, 4 complexity. Fruitiness, it's only 3 out of 5 on the fruitiness. So color is good. Legs aren't real heavy for those of you who are looking for legs. Legs aren't real strong on this. It's got classic Tempranillo flavors, but sort of subdued. You can detect a little bit of oak in this, but not a lot. It is not nearly as fruity as I expected it to be, but they 3 out of 5, and the complexity is down. But it's a good example of a Tempranillo, though, although a lighter style, but it is an example of a Tempranillo. I think this is great with, cheeses. This would be perfect with some cheeses. So, speaking of cheeses, yeah, this is good. It's not real acidic. It's a good balance from the acids and the tannins, although it's not really tannic. It's a little bit of dryness. You can detect that, but not so much that it. The fruit, I'm looking for more fruitiness. It told me it's not real fruity, but Tempranillos always, to me, tend to have some subdued fruity flavors to it. And this is not even coming out there. So, oh well. Okay. I do recommend it, though, if you get a chance. Campo, Campo Viejo, Viejo. It's Raja Tempranillo. This is the 2021, which is 4 years old. But good colors. Classic Tempranillo colors. Okay, back to our Pinot Noir, and they recommend was pronounced Gruyere, Gruiere. The ever-present berry fruit of Pinot Noir is a perfect match for the nutty flavors found in a medium. So there you go. Next one, Bilton. It says aged port and blue Stilton. Port is known for its full body, sweetness, and bold character. And when you're dealing with all that, you need a cheese to match, something stinky. The complex characters of a pungent, salty blue Stilton matches up beautifully with older, sweeter port. Remember the sweeter the wines. Interesting phrase there. Bubbles and brie. And they're talking any bubbles. The softer triple cream cheeses like brie demand something sharp and acidic to cut through the fat. Champagne's bright acidity and lively bubbles cut through brie's rich creaminess, creating a delightful contrast. So there you go. Moscato d'Asti and Gorgonzola. Looking at the sweetness. As we've said, funkier cheeses call for a sweeter wine, but the lightness of Moscato and other sweet wines can be a terrific change if you've only ever matched punches with heavy fortified wines. The fresh, acidic fruit of a Moscato d'Asti cleans your mouth of heavier Gorgonzola, leaving you nice and refreshed. So, and okay, I've got a video here. I need to get my some. Ideas. Is that how to pronounce Idiazabal? Adiazabal. Like I say, I'm not a cheese person. Well, Adiazabal. I bet it's Adiazabal. Tempranillo and Adiazabal are a great example of the adage, if it goes together, it goes together. Both are Spanish and have savory, smoky that match. Smoke, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Dusty, a dusty road. I'm smoky is an excellent word for it instead of dusty road on this wine. I was, could not find what I was looking for. This was perfectly stated here. Savory, smoky flavors. The full body found in your average Tempranillo is a terrific combination of the harder texture of Adiazabal, while the tannins of the wine contrast with the buttery flavors of the cheese. I'll have to look for Adiazabal cheese, the butteriness of it. That sounds interesting. Sauvignon Blanc and goat cheese. While they're earthy and tart, most goat cheeses are a bit of a slate, so the citrus notes found in French Sauvignon Blanc bring out the wonderful nutty and herbal flavors that can be found in the cheese. And the acidity is a great way to cut through the heaviness of the cheese. Yeah. Why are they saying French Sauvignon Blanc? I think there's a lot of other areas that would match it too. Cabernet and aged cheddar. Okay, a bigger, bolder cheese needs a wine that can lift it, spin it around, and not get winded. An aged cheddar has a fattiness that matches up wonderfully with the mouth-drying tannins you'll find in Cabernet Sauvignon. Plus, their respectively bold flavors will match instead of one drowning out the other. So, and aged cheddar with Sauvignon Blanc is one of my go-tos. We have cheese and wine, and that's one of the go-tos. We also Carmenere works good with it. They're suggesting smoked Gouda with Carmenere, but I don't a good cheddar. Rosé and Havarti, Havarti. The crisp red fruit you find in the Provence rosé is delicious but delicate, and the mellow flavor you find in Havarti complements the wine gracefully with powering it. Ring and Raclette, Raclett. I believe it's a hard C. Riesling Raclette. Now, let's see what they say here. Raclette is a mellow and versatile cheese that that blends well with high acidity and stone fruit flavors found in Rieslings. Okay, the aromatic scents of the German classic bring out a subtle and surprising nuttiness in a good quality raclette cheese. Oh, here they go. Consider a cabernet or off-dry Riesling to ensure its sweetness doesn't overpower the cheese. And that's just what I was wondering if they were talking sweet or not on that. So, not. Sunny and Toscano. Pecorino Toscano. I never heard of that. Another great goes together pairing. That's probably why I never heard of it. The hard aged texture of Pecorino pairs wonderfully with the booming tannins of Chianti Classico. The savory secondary notes in a Chianti bring out a hidden herbal flavor in the cheese, with the wine's black fruit holding up flawlessly against the boldness of the Pecorino. Or Pecorino, Vermentino and Fior Sardo, Fioresardo, Sordo, Fior Sardo. A nutty sheep Fior Sardo does very well alongside the more oily texture of a Vermentino. Malbec and Gouda. Why it works? The nutty caramelized flavors of aged Gouda beautifully complement Malbec's velvety fruit and bold character. Gouda's rich, flavorful profile and smooth texture harmonize with the wine's aromatic complexities, creating a balanced pairing that's both indulgent and approachable. I like Gouda. I like slices of Gouda on a sandwich. Just dump a couple big slices of Gouda on a lunch meat sandwich, and it's fantastic. So there are some wine and cheese pairings suggested by a Paul Keeling. Is what we set WSET level 2. He's the one that wrote this. It wasn't Madeline Puckett who wrote it. It was Paul. Let me go to something I wanted to about before the show's over. And this is out of Senior Brand Manager of what? I don't know. This is from a Georgia Vickerson suggesting a guess. Oh, okay. The most interesting wine list in the U.S. I thought it was another list, but it's not. This is about a recognized 2024 Michelin Grade Sommelier Award. What I want to bring up is Michelin. The Michelin stars and Michelin restaurants, Michelin rankings. I read something. I don't know if you're familiar with this. You think Michelin, and you think, okay, it's like the tires, and you're right. It is like the tires. Michelin Tire Company has been around forever. They were in existence when cars were first being made, and they were making tires for it. They found that people weren't driving much, and they weren't selling the number of tires that they felt that they need to or should. So they started to rank restaurants around areas. to show people, well, this is a good restaurant. We're giving it 2 stars. And it worked. People started to read the Michelin's reports on restaurants and how they were ranked, and they started to go to them, which of course meant that they had to drive, which meant that they had to buy tires because, well, the tires, even though they were Michelin's, weren't lasting a great long time like they do now. So they were selling tires. And it happened that this Michelin restaurant guide took off. Well, to what it is now. You hear about the Michelin restaurants, and I mean, it has a life of its own. It's went crazy since they first started it. So that's where the Michelin restaurant guide came from. The Michelin tire company wanted to get people to drive more, and it worked. So I'll have to make a note of this guy here. Wine director Rob in Albi districts of Columbia, Palestinian restaurant. Oh, well, that should be interesting to see what they make and what wines they choose to serve there. So let's go back and let me put a note by this so I won't misplace it. And okay, here's what I'm going to say. Jeannie Sullivan is the well, works for the Wine Institute. I don't know what her exact job is. She works for the Wine Institute. And they just announced the winners for the annual California Green Medal Sustainable Wine Growing Leadership Awards. That's a mouthful. You couldn't put that on your hat very easily. 2025 Leadership Award was given to the vineyard or winery that excels in the 3 E's of sustainability: environmentally sound, socially equitable, and economically viable practices. And the winner was Spotswood Estate Vineyard and Winery in St. Helena, California. It goes on to tell about them, but there's Spotswood. Next one is Environment Award. This is given to the vineyard or winery that best demonstrates environmental stewardship through maximizing environmental benefits from implementing sustainable practices. And this was given to Chandon. This is nestled in the heart of Napa Valley. They said that they are a pioneer in sustainable growing. It says automated irrigation and real-time moisture monitoring on 200 acres of vineyards. So they've been able to keep their water use at a minimum, and 80% of the water is recycled. Next award, given to the vineyard or winery that is a good neighbor and employer using the most innovative practices that enhance relations with employees, neighbors, and or communities. And this is Jordan Vineyards and Winery. They are located in Sonoma's Alexander Valley. And it gives all the good things that they have done over at their philanthropic event for small train, raising over $100,000 for cleft palate care. The company also gave its 100 employees $1,000 each to give to their own personal charity or nonprofit of their choice. And they've done all sorts of other stuff on there. So they got that award. Next one, And I believe this is the last. Yes. The last is Business Award given to the vineyard or winery that best demonstrates smart business through efficiencies, cost savings, and innovation from implementing sustainable practices. And this was given to Nevin Natural Capital. Nevin Natural Capital is operations throughout California. Exemplifies how sustainability is not just good for the planet, it's good for business. Their commitment to soil health on their managed properties is reflected in their range of responsible practices, including biochar applications and cover crop crimping. So those are the Green Award medal winners for 2025. Yeah, they actually labeled as this year's. And let me look at she sent me two, and I don't know if it's a separate one. Oh, a little quick announcement here, which is interesting. She sent me the letter and she says, "Hey, Ron, just announced the Green Awards, but interesting stat: 90% of California wines are now certified sustainable. That's up from 80% last year. 90% of California wines are sustainable. That's quite a number. That really is. I mean, considering the number of wineries in California and how big that is, and all, 90% are now certified sustainable. So, good deal. Good deal there. And let's see, is there something else I want to talk about before we? Just let me look at this. That's not the one. I think this is the box I want. Oh, come on, come up. Well, I know it's here somewhere. Well, I don't know. I can't find it. It's almost time to close anyway. Oh, let's see. This is what I wanted here. Boy, this computer just slowed down tonight all of a sudden. Oh, no, this isn't what I want. Interesting little thing here. It says new report range wines by color rather than country of origin. You know, put your whites, your rosés here by the colors, not where they come from. Oklahoma State University hosts a wine forum of Oklahoma. That's coming up. And let's see what else. Gin now is back. Social event of the year. Oh, okay. So that's all I guess for today.
Wow. We still have. It's not yet 8:00. Let's see how many.
Oh, it isn't. We still have a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, got about a minute. Well,
let's see what I can do for a minute here. I had something I wanted to talk. Oh, I know what it was, and I think I lost it. It was.
And the time's up.
Oh, sorry.
So close.
The winery in Iowa I got a couple of emails from them. They're having a Valentine's Day special coming up. Not Valentine's, Easter special coming up next Saturday, and a meal, and also what wines of the world? What's the one up here north of us here, east of or
Oxford?
west of Gainesville? Well, I'm sorry, what?
So, is that the one in Oxford,
Yeah,
Florida?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
oh gosh, Whispering Oaks.
Whispering Oaks. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Whispering Oaks has a thing coming up next Saturday too for Easter. So I mentioned names before. Whispering Oaks is winesofflorida.com, and Tassel Ridge is tasselridge.com. So get a hold of either one of those. I'm sure other wineries around your area are having specials for Easter, but those two I get the emails from telling us about it. So get a hold of those, and a good way to spend a Saturday before Easter. People come into town for the long weekend too. Take them out to your local winery. Support your local wineries. Always.
Yeah, always a good thing. You can do that year round and during special events.
Exactly.
It's good stuff. Okay. Well, we have our next show is next Thursday, of course, April 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live. You can catch it on our YouTube page and as well as on our Facebook page. And you can, I don't know what the link is. I know there's a link somewhere. You just visit the website, and there's links on there. It's all about wine BTR. Is it all about winebtr.com? I think so. Yes, that was the domain.
Yes.
So soon to be in other locations as well. We're also, I believe we're back on Spotify, listed on there, and as well as rss.com, and should be back on Apple iTunes. At least the feed shows that it's active. They're both active. So I just have to go back and check and make sure everything's clicking on that and is working. So we'll keep you updated on the next show and probably on social media where to catch us. So for now, for this, which is April the 10th, 2025, we will sign out, and we'll see you all next week. Have a good weekend. Be safe. If you're in Florida, winter is approaching again, very briefly, but it'll be here this coming week, I think. They said 40s again, Thursday, 50s. Wednesday. Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Next week or this week? I've forgotten. Yeah.
So this next week. Today is Thursday.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Wednesday of this week, yesterday is.
It got cold. Yeah.
In the past. Yeah. So it's been really comfortable though. This 70 degree stuff.
Low humidity.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Very pleasant outside.
Down. So played golf yesterday. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful day. It was windy, but still a beautiful day for golf.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thanks again. Be safe, and we'll talk to you all next Thursday. Have a great weekend. Thank you. Have a great week.
All right, thanks for listening.
This concludes tonight's broadcast of All About Wine with your host, Ron. For show information, links to All About Wine on Twitter and Facebook, or to be a guest on this show, visit the show website at www.allaboutwinebtr.com. Archived shows are available for download on iTunes or on our show page at blogtalkradio.com/allaboutwine.
No, I gotta take that out.
Drink responsibly, and we'll see you next time on All About
something's
Wine.
not right.
Yeah.
I need to update that.